Good morning. We will be starting a new chapter today. Now, let us understand or let me take an example and tell you that how do you come to know in your class or in your school how is the class getting over or how is your period is over and the next class will start. You only understand when you hear the bell ringing, right? So once the bell rings, it is confirmed your first period, second, third and so on. So the same bell when it rings in the morning, which sounds unpleasant to you because your day will start, and the same bell when it rings in the evening around 4:30 or 4, it sounds very pleasant because it is time to go home, right? How did you know that, or how did you know the bell is ringing? That is only because you can sense the sound. So in today's class, we will be studying the 13th chapter of physics in your book, that is sound. So in this chapter, we'll be studying what is sound, sound produced by human beings, propagation of sound, human ear, amplitude, frequency, time period, audible and inaudible sound, noise and noise pollution. So let us understand what is sound. So sound is a form of energy which helps us to communicate with each other. Now how do you say that? Only if I speak I will be able to communicate? No. There are so many ways it helps us to communicate. We humans can communicate by talking. Animals communicate by their own language, birds, etc. Right? So it is not only by communicating, by just speaking, there are so many different ways of communicating. Now for example, you can also communicate to somebody by a small soft music or by dropping something or by giving them some sign of giving a sound of some object. Now for example, if I drop a spoon, you hear a sound, right? Which is quite pleasant. But if I drop all the vessels of the kitchen all at once, you still hear a sound which is unpleasant. That means every object will produce their own sound. A spoon will produce a sound, a vessel will produce a sound, a glass will produce a sound in different manner, correct? When the same spoon is used on a different instruments or is used on the different vessels, can also be produced a melodious sound because the object vibrates when the sound is produced. So basically, what do we tell? When is the sound produced? The sound is produced when the object vibrates. Now for example, your all windows are closed and there is a very harsh lightning outside. Can you hear your windows actually vibrating at that point of time? Yes, that's because of the sound. Another instance, there is a vehicle which moves very fast on your road. At that point of time, also you can feel that the windows are shuttering. Like that is also a type of a vibration. If you have a heavy music which is playing and when you just keep a piece of paper near the speaker, the piece of paper vibrates. So this is how we can tell sound produces vibration on the given object. Now, if you take a tuning fork and hit it on a rubber pad for a very, take a rubber pad and just hit the tuning fork very hard, that means you can actually hear the vibrating sound of tuning fork, wherein you can even see the vibration of a tuning fork for a fraction of a second. That means every object produces different sound, that is because they vibrate. Production of sound. Sound is produced because of the vibration of the object. Motion of the material causes vibration. Of course, now if a spoon is just kept on a table, the spoon will not produce any vibration unless it is struck something, correct? So it has to be in motion. Motion of an object causes vibration. Vibration causes to and fro motion. Now what is to and fro motion? We generally consider to and fro motion as a oscillation. Now oscillation of a pendulum, what we say? Similarly, actually when a tuning fork is struck and it vibrates in to and fro motion where we cannot see it very clearly. But as I have told you, you can see the vibration of some instruments Like for example, you beat a drum, play a guitar or something, those strings actually vibrate. Or example, you can just take a stretched rubber band and just leave it, or stretch a rubber band and just try to vibrate it or pull it once. You can see the vibration with the sound in the rubber band. So we can see vibration causes to and fro motion. Example, stretched rubber band, music by instrument, different instruments plays with a different music, etc. That is what I have written here. Different instruments produces different sound. Now let's see, how do human beings produce sound? How are we able to produce different sound? Of course, we can enact or play with our sounds as well. How is it possible? We are able to produce sound because of the voice box which we have. Voice box is also known as larynx, which is placed in our throat in the upper side of the windpipe. So actually when we see our mouth, then we have a epiglottis, pharynx what we say, then we have a larynx, that is nothing but a voice box, correct? After that, which is connected to a food pipe as well as a windpipe. So here, let's only talk about voice box and larynx. Let's not discuss about pharynx, windpipe or food pipe. So what is this larynx or a voice box? It has two vocal cords which have a narrow slit in them so that the air can pass through it. That means sound is produced only when the air can pass through it. Without that, there is no sound produced. We will understand on this term again further later, right? So as the lungs throw out of the, as lungs throw air out of the windpipe. Why do lungs will throw air out of the windpipe? It is simple, basic when we are breathing actually, taking in and giving out. So as the lungs throw air out of the windpipe, it passes through the slit, hence allows the production of sound as the vocal cord starts vibrating. Now, as we tell vibrating, have you ever tried to keep your palm on your throat here where the vocal cord is placed and try to speak, right? The same here, when I am teaching, when I am talking, when I am trying to hold my hand here, I can feel the vibration, right? That is means sound produces vibration. Without vibration, there is no sound. You can feel the vibration. That is how sound is produced. Sometimes try to pronounce different letters. You will come to know that different letters produced will produce different types of vibration, right? So, basically, vocal cords thickness and tightness describes the sound. That means vocal cords in males are about 20 millimeter, wherein in females it is about 15 millimeter, and wherein in a child it is much smaller. Now that is why we are able to distinguish and identify the sound of a child, sound of a male, sound of a female. Now for example, if it is a boy child, say for about 3 and 4 years, and a girl child, same of the same age, you cannot differentiate the voice of either it is a girl child voice or a boy child voice. Now what is it difference in this? You will study in this same chapter later. So this is the basic introduction of the chapter sound, how sound is produced and how do we humans produce the sound. There is a small figure of the vocal cord which will give you the clear information of that. So if any question asks, how do humans produce sound? Basically you have to draw the diagram, label 1 or 2 parts which is given in that. It is given in your book. As well explain that with these few points. So this is how we human beings are able to produce the sound. So in today's class, introduction of the sound, production of sound and how do humans produce sound. If you have any doubt, you can call on the same day of the video center. Thank you.